Alright, everyone. This is the interview segment of the Decades of Music 5th week, the 80s Music Week, and we'll be interviewing Andrew Healy, the drummer from Death to Noodles. Please introduce yourself, Andrew.
Alright, how's it going? I'm Andy, and I play drums poorly for a band that are also very poorly made up. That's my introduction. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say.
Humble to say the least. So we'd like to start the interview by asking you a quick, simple question. If you could play one song in the 80s, what would it be, just off the bat?
Play one song from the 80s?
One song from the 80s.
Probably something by Depeche Mode. Let's go for...
Enjoy the Silence.
Enjoy the Silence, there we go. Was that the 80s? Or was that like early 90s?
I don't know.
Oh,
you know what? It's 80s. I like that song a lot.
I love that song, and then it's just just for the listeners to get just your personality.
Right,
it was the first thing in my head. I could play many other things, but I like that song a lot. So
yeah, perfect. If it's the first thing that comes to your head, then it's obviously stuck with you.
Aye, definitely.
Right, can you tell us how the pandemic has affected your work over the past year?
So we were regularly playing shows, not even just around Glasgow or anything, but places like we play a New Year gig in Edinburgh every year, over in the wee pub called Bannerman's, and also the Banshee Labyrinth sometimes, it's next door to that. We were playing regularly all over Scotland, and we had plans to be going to England to do a few shows as well with some other bands. And I think not just the sort of live performance aspect, but I think we would have had our debut album completely recorded and distributed by now if it weren't for the pandemic. Absolutely.
So it'd be safe to say that it's definitely prevented you from continuing your work.
Oh, aye, absolutely. We're now getting back at the swing of it though, considering everything's starting to open back up again. But at Carlton Studios, the place that we've been rehearsing, is open since the start, so we've still been able to rehearse every now and then, but it's not been as easy to do that.
It's fortunate you're able to go up and still do some rehearsals. That way you're not going to be rusty when all of this finally goes away.
That's true. And I think our singer, Lewis, has been putting all his money into building a wee studio for us in his garage. And that's coming along really well. And I suppose the pandemic's worked out beneficial in that sense, because he's got the time to build it all. It's nearly done. So that's where we're going to be recording our album when that happens.
If there's any silver line at all to come out for this COVID stuff, it's maybe just people's had a little bit more free time to kind of do the stuff that's needed to be done. If you need that studio, you build that studio.
Absolutely. I mean, I think another big issue is sort of making connections and stuff and communicating with other artists and that, because before we were getting quite a bit of attention off of different folk around the punk scene and whatnot. Not even that, just the sort of rock scene in Glasgow, especially. But see, when there's no gigs on, even if we're not playing them, we can't get a name for ourselves if nobody knows what's going on. You know what I mean? If nobody can actually go and see live music. But
yeah, is there somewhere in particular that you miss playing?
Those New Year gigs in Bannerman's or the Banshee Labyrinth, I love them because we usually play right before the bells. So we finish, pack up our stuff, put it to the side, and then go over to the bridge. You know, the one that's always on the telly at New Year when everyone's still on the bridge in Edinburgh and the wee festivals, carnival things.
Yeah, you see the fireworks and off.
Aye, we go there steaming out our nuts. Then we've just played a show, and it's always great fun. We usually
just finished a shift, right?
but exactly. We usually stay in a wee flat that's next to it. We don't have to pay for it or anything like that. It's just accommodation for the band.
The perks of being a rock star.
I know. Tell me about it. They just don't supply us with free drugs.
No, that'd be too expensive.
Yeah, I miss playing in Edinburgh.
I imagine the atmosphere at New Year would be fantastic, man. Like you were saying, like I have actually seen it on the TV, and it's usually women.
Aye, it's packed with folk. Now that's just a way for everyone to die. Together.
So with all of it, like obviously you won't be able to play there again until next, like the New Year coming, hopefully, if everything goes well. But let's just say that the restrictions were taken away pretty dramatically, and you could just play somewhere maybe in like Glasgow or maybe like, yeah, whereabouts in Glasgow would you like to perform?
I'm trying. I really like playing gigs in the 13th Note. I've played like 5 or 6 in the 13th Note. We've played there so many times, but I really like it. It's also a little vegan restaurant as well, so it means I can have a good scran when I'm there. And
Nice one.
aye, and then it's all under the ground, so it's fun. It's dirty. It's filthy. It's beautiful.
It's home. That's what it is.
Oh my! Attracts all the punks and the skins. Anyway.
Perfect, man. Oh, Carl, have you got any other questions?
Right, since this is the 80s week, do you have any music that's influenced by the 80s that maybe you could play for us? Or just tell us about?
There's a song from the 80s that we've been influenced by.
Yeah.
Go. Well, actually, I'll give you a name of the one that we do a cover for. We do a cover by a band called Bad Religion. The song is called "Do What You Want."
Mm-hmm.
I
Okay.
don't remember what year in the 80s that came out. It was 80s.
I'm sorry, I actually missed it. Could you just repeat the name of the song again?
"Do What You Want" by Bad
What You
Religion.
Want. And that's a song that you guys took inspiration from.
Yeah, we took a lot of inspiration from that. It's kind of hardcore punk. We
So
cover
what is
it.
the name of this? Is it still got the same name when you guys cover it, or have you changed the name?
Oh no, we just do a complete cover of it. Like we don't change it.
Okay, nice. Okay, my bad.
Like a tribute to it because it was one of the first songs we started listening to when we were starting to form the band.
So it really, like, it's what helped you sort of define your own sort of style in a way.
Yeah, I mean, me and Lucas, the bassist, are more into Bad Religion than Lewis is, but we're all sort of different things around that era. Usually around sort of mid 80s to early 90s, or mid 90s. Sorry, the sort of music we listen to. A lot of the bands are still going. Bad Religion are still going, but that's when they were all in their prime. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
we've sort of defined our sound by listening to a whole load of different punk, like Ed for the Sex Pistols are back in the 70s to like Flogging Molly, Irish punk stuff like that. We go
Quite a roster.
Aye. I'm not too sure where we've directly taken influence from, but Bad Religion was one of the first bands we were listening to.
How long has your band been formed for?
Since 2015, but there's been a lot of on and off, but we're like nailing it down now over the course of the pandemic. Now, try to get the studio built, get the album released, get back on the gigs when they start again this year.
That's fantastic.
So we've been together since 2015, gathered an album's worth of material, but we're technically starting now.
Well, I wish you all the luck getting your album distributed, and I'll be the first one to sign up for a copy.
Thank you very much. The album's going to be called Order, by the way, with an exclamation mark. Order. It's a joke on that guy in the in Westminster, the House of Parliament. The guy that sits there in the chair.
Oh yeah. Order.
It's called Order. Yeah.
All the luck, and thank you for joining us for the interview.
I've got a question. Is it an ironic take in Order? Like, because it's kind of chaotic.
Yeah, so I'll try to make this as PG as possible. The album cover is going to be set in Parliament, and there's going to be pretty much all the world's religious figures and political figures having an orgy, basically.
Oh God.
The guy who shouts order is going to be sitting on the throne, just like screaming order in the baby speechful.
Okay.
Oh, amazing.
So can we get free tickets to your next show when you open
Of
up?
Of course.
God damn right.
Oh, that's amazing. Right. Thank you for being willing to do an interview with us, Andrew.
Thank you for thinking I'm worthy enough to be on and talk to.
No,
Oh,
you're,
man, you're a hell of a lot more interesting than me. I'm so bored right now. I'm writing my university essays on paper.
On paper.
My laptop's broke.
Save the trees, my man, save the trees.
I'm on the trees.
But aye, thank you for that.
And I definitely, man, cheers for joining us, man. Done us a big favour.
Of course.
thanks, Andrew.
That's cool. I could leave it now and then you can keep me updated with what's happening after.
Aye,
Yeah,
aye.
bro, yeah. Okay, thank you very much, man.
Right. Cheers, guys.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Yeah, I'll see you in a wee bit, right? Catch you after.